You're listening to the Paracasual Destiny podcast, live on YouTube. Episode 50, the special Imarru edition episode, and we come in at the big 5-0. How's everybody doing out there? Sally Bug?
Pretty good.
All right. And Green Stego's with us. Stego, can you hear me?
I absolutely can. Can I be heard?
I see what you did there. It's a little in-joke pun. He said he absolutely can because he just gave the cat a can of food. So, very clever. Gotta hand it to you.
Yeah, and intentional.
Anyway, here we are 2 weeks in or some odd such time period into the Witch Queen. And it's been 2 weeks since our last podcast, and a lot has happened, at least from my perspective and my game playing. So I thought I would start off this evening with just general chit-chat, if you will, about the various activities and what we've been up to in the Witch Queen since we last met. Anybody want to start? Anything come to mind? Good experiences as well as the challenging?
So much.
I know. Check out the
much
slide I
happening.
made. And that's just scratching the surface. Yeah. We've got a retune Gambit, we've got Psyops, we've got the Wellspring activity, that's the 6-player one, and just the Throne World itself, and then the investigations on the side there. We've got weapon crafting. I could talk all night. Go ahead.
Right. The bulk of my time has been, well, I don't think we had maybe we had finished the campaign. I can't quite remember, but after we finish the campaign, I'm going to say the bulk of my time, I'm still just enjoying the whole open exploration of the Throne World.
Ditto.
So
Patrolling?
Patrols and the Finch bounties and those reveals. What are those called?
What about, let's not...
I call them Revealo.
Revealo, another Revealo. So those puzzles,
the lost sectors. I'm still opening up the lost sectors and exploring those nuances.
Right.
The public events. Riding on the little.
We caught up with the Altars of Reflection today.
The Altars of Reflection.
Right. We haven't done that this week.
Could somebody tell me what the Altars of Reflection are again? I'm just so overwhelmed.
It's where, like,
it's that one where you go into that
from the memory of an object.
Oh, and it's got the puzzles.
Memories.
Like you have to shoot the things.
Yes, you go into that bluish room.
I don't think I'm caught up on that.
We haven't done this week.
I think there's 4 of them total.
Let's hurry up and get this podcast over with then.
It's like I'm pretty sure there's 2 per week.
I always want to play Destiny when I'm talking about Destiny. It's like, oh, I got to get in there and do it.
Yeah, it's like,
but one thing we did do.
Right.
One thing we did do was we did Vox Obscura yesterday.
Oh, that's right.
Last night.
Yeah, yet another thing to do.
So,
we don't want to do any spoilers on that.
We did a spoiler thing. We watched a tutorial video first,
and I'm glad we did.
And
honestly,
I'm glad we did too,
because we'd still be doing it. Probably.
Because, like, some of the and this, it's not really a spoiler, but like some of the other standalone exotic weapon missions, there's a time limit to it. There's a time element, which I'm not a super huge fan of myself.
Not.
I don't like.
You don't like jumping, and you don't like
level
timed.
of panic, but there's no jumping, so there's another. I mean,
well, there's another kind of jumping that you had a little trouble with,
but so
it's fun. Highly recommend.
I was happy about that. It was fun.
Jumping in with 2 people's great is perfect for it.
And it's not as intense or
Long. It's not that long.
as long as some of the other standalone exotic missions like Hawk Moon or the Dead Man's Tale.
Presage.
Presage.
Or
even Whisper.
Or even
or Prime, right? The
Yep.
Prime for Perfected.
Yeah.
So, it's just kind of like this nice little side mission. And I played with the gun a little bit because we did a couple of strikes afterwards. It's kind of fun. It's fun.
Nice little number.
So,
They did well with it.
I'm going to say that's kind of been the bulk of like actually playing.
The bulk of playing for me has been
a little bit.
Definitely Throne World. Just
spending
leveling
time
up
in
Finch. Oh, Finchy.
You and I are still working our way through the second, like with our alternate, our second alt characters.
Throne World level?
I'm probably in the 30s by now.
Okay.
Early 30s.
I just turned 30.
I haven't even reached 15 yet, so
I just got to level 30 with Finch, and that's what I'm saying, because that's the bulk of what I do is go pick up Finch bounties and do patrols the whole time, because I'm just having fun with that. So it's like not even like hopping into Wellspring or doing any of that other stuff. Just
you and I did a good deal of psyops. Remember?
Yeah, we did. Well, when we were still leveling up, but psyops is a great way to do if you're still like in that power grind up to the hard cap, because you get a powerful piece of gear every 2 matches, and they're fun. Those matches they're challenging, but they're fun.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fun way to explore the. We watched a Dado video on doing a volatile build, and so I like just put exactly what he said to put on and just had so much fun just watching enemies explode all over the place. It was great. That was even before they still had some of the fragments locked.
Do you think they did do you think Bungie did some biofeedback research, and they found that one of the most satisfying things is for gamers to make things chain explode? And so it's like that reward center lights up every time I get a chain explosion going on. Because they've got that chain reaction in some of the weapons as well, like the grenade launchers and rocket launchers. It's so much fun to do that, to proc those things. I wanted to jump into the tuned gambit. Well, we did do some of the tuned gambit pre-tracking rocket nerf, right, Sallybug?
We haven't been in since they made those adjustments.
The last adjustments,
so I guess there was like a PvP scaling that wasn't supposed to be happening.
Oh, right, yeah. Yeah, and I didn't even realize that, but
their tracking rockets were just a little bit too strong against the Guardians.
God, I don't even know if we talked about it last time, but I felt like I liked it more. It was longer, but it felt like it was more, you really couldn't tell who was actually going to win, and I felt like just doing 5 or 6 matches, however many we did, I felt like, oh, this is going to create a lot of like tense last second surprise endings, like right up to the end.
The only thing I would have said to change, which they actually did, was it seemed like Primeval was getting a little bit too healed. An invader went over and made kills. It's like, wow, they come back and like the Primeval would have been like completely healed from like.
Well, yeah, they did 2 things. One, they lowered that number, right?
Right. So it used to be,
and they made it harder.
27% per each kill, which is a lot.
Well, yeah, you
So-
can fully heal the primeval and then some.
Right. Like every time you invade. So,
Right.
and that would have been the only thing, because I thought that was just it's a little
too
bit
much.
too much, and it prolonged the game in a way that wasn't as fun, right? Because you're just like, okay, well, here we go again. Their team invades, heals our primeval. Our team invades, heals our primeval all over again. We're like kind of like in this constant
Well, they
start over loop.
took away. They toned down the tracking on the rocket launchers, so
Yep.
it's going to be harder to have a successful invade with those weapons, at least anyway. So that's cool. Did we cover everything in terms of just overall Witch Queen activities?
Right. We're still working our way through with our second characters on the missions, like the storyline, and that's fun revisiting those.
Yeah, we started
been-
the campaign on Legendary.
Yeah. It's been
and the
a
drops
long
are so
time.
good on Legendary. Drops are
been
really
a-
good.
Long time since I've actually wanted to. As a matter of fact, since I've wanted to do a second character.
That's
I
true.
hadn't touched my second character. I think I had done my warlock just a tiny bit, like maybe like the opening, just like the opening mission in Beyond Light, and nothing else. And so I spent a good deal of time just doing the Beyond Light storyline with my warlock. And unlocked all the stasis, because I wanted the warlock. It's like, if I'm going to have this character, I want her to have everything. She didn't have any of the stasis, so I did all of that. Then I got blocked like that. There's that mission that's bugged. So. can't do
Oh, I
any
wonder
more
if
of
they
that
ever
right
fix
now.
that.
It hasn't come up in the patch notes yet, so I think it's just one of those things
Still
they're still
bugged.
working on.
Yeah.
And it's not, it's like.
It's not
It's
that
not
big a
anything
deal.
it's not for me, especially since it's an alt character, but I do feel bad for someone who's not done Beyond Light at all and trying to progress a story. Yeah.
How about that world's first raid? Vow of the
That was fun to
Disciple.
watch.
Watch.
Yes, that looked awesome.
We watched a good bit of Dado's team. And then we were switching back to that other team. I forget who they were called. It wasn't
X-Black. X-Black was one of the
One of
one
the
who
players
was streaming it.
streaming it. Yeah.
And
They were really
I
good.
just saw the most heartbreaking. And I was talking to another clan member, Funny Bone, about it, and I was like, you could just tell that this was a team that was like super talented, and they figured it all out, and they were like actually ahead. At one point, they had figured out how to get to the boss, do the boss damage round. And they got all the way where the boss was like at a sliver that was like final stand, and they just made the rookie mistake of all rushing in to try to like just get him down, and they wiped.
Ugh.
And it was like, they have it. Like, I was sure they had it, and then they all wiped. And then I looked later, I was like, I wonder how they ended up in the long run, and ended up being like, I think it deflated them because they were like 2 hours behind world's first. Their team ended up like, so I felt really bad for them because they were like seconds away from getting it.
All right.
It was a little heartbreaking. It was a little heartbreaking for me. And then, of course, Dado coming in second. But, 3 seconds is better than just like 1 first in my mind. So I'm okay. I'm okay with it.
3 seconds? I thought it was like 3 minutes.
No,
Yeah, I
I
think
mean,
it was 3 minutes.
Second place.
he's gotten 3 second places.
Oh, 3 second places. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. Yeah.
So
wow.
3 second
Oh,
places
man.
over like, just to be that close every
yeah.
time. But,
Yeah.
he's
And
top tier team. It's like if this was the Olympics, 3 silver medals, someone would say, wow, 3 silver medals, that's great. We were talking about that actually. It's like, it's too bad they don't have like tiered something for like the top 3, because it's almost art. Like when you're talking
the top 3 of
about
our
there
hearts,
being,
I guess.
you're talking about that many, like 3 minutes between one and the other. It's, for me, sometimes that's just RNG, right? Sometimes just the mechanics, or you just got like one team got like a lucky spawn of like where to dunk things and where they're.
Yeah. Well, a lot of
Their
it comes
team
down to that
was.
when you're at this level of play.
Right, which is what I'm saying is like, it's basically a virtual tie with the top 3. If it's like within 3 to 5 minutes of each other, so.
But it's interesting how you can actually say, with all the variables and the error codes that they had, some of the problems in the beginning, it does randomize the pool somewhat. But from a statistical point of view, the fact that Dato's team math class has done this, has gotten second place this many times, and the fact that the last raids winners were this also, they're defending. It tells me there's just
Team Elysium. Yep.
It tells me that there's a talent to this. There is a tangible way to get good at figuring these sort of things out and working as a team. When you think of how many people are doing this, it's crazy.
The numbers were really insane. It was like over 500,000 people dipped their toes in the raid. That like there were like over 500,000 unique starts on that first weekend, which was crazy.
Yeah, I think there were over 50,000 Guardian clears too.
Right,
For the
which
first
is
48 hours.
And that's a phenomenal number for Bungie and for the raids, like for the Destiny
mode,
franchise.
Yeah. For contest mode, that's really good. I know that
watching it, I loved that it was like a whole new boss, right? It was like someone we hadn't fought before, even a different race. We hadn't fought before.
Yeah,
we haven't done it yet.
Interesting.
The lore that has spilled out of this is
amazing.
It's pretty,
right?
like I couldn't have ever guessed it.
The lore for this whole DLC has just been crazy good.
Yeah.
So
we have a worm daddy, the worm father. It's so weird. It's creepy, isn't it? The whole worm thing's
father,
creepy.
A worm mother.
And the voice acting for that worm that you carry around is so...
the parasite.
The worm to talk to us. I was like, what? That was like one of the moments in Destiny where they just really surprised me. Like the worm just starts talking.
I know.
And so here's the question. Is that worm, in your mind, male or female? Because in my mind, it was like male.
Non-binary.
It's a worm.
Androgynous. It's a worm, right? It's a hermaphrodite.
Saying, "Oh no, definitely an old woman," and I'm like,
"Well, I was saying the voice actor sounded like an old lady to me.
Androgynous.
Sounded like a grandma,
It's just a struggling worm.
I know.
It's just a worm that
with a sense of humor.
Doesn't have a gender.
So good,
so good. And I loved the way Morris.
Whoa! That you're getting into spoiler territory, Sally. I don't know if they've done that yet.
We're already way into spoiler territory.
Yeah,
it's fine.
Have we overstepped?
No, I think if you're listening to a podcast about Destiny, you're probably.
No, I just meant are you guys? Are we going too far?
No, we're caught up.
Okay, so you carried the worm around.
She'd heard the worm talk.
Yeah. Okay, so we're good.
The worm cannon.
It's the exotic mission, to clarify. right?
Yes, yeah. That's
For
why I was thinking,
the
ooh,
weapon.
maybe you guys haven't gotten the
No,
parasite
I
launcher.
haven't done Vox Obscura yet.
Okay.
I haven't done that mission.
Right.
Okay.
Well, we only just did that last night, so.
Yeah.
It's a little high. We're a little afraid of it because of the power requirements. We're trying to level up.
Right, right. That's why I was recommending psyops. So that was a great. I think we grinded that because you get those 3 powerfuls just doing 6.
Yeah, we did our weekly psyops. We finished that up today too.
Yep. Yeah, but I just
About Iron Lord Saladin.
We talked a little bit about Sultime and I talked a little bit about the way Mara saw like her story arc in this DLC, and that's a really I kind of liked the way she kind of tricked the worm. And everybody, like, originally you're thinking, is she really going to take this worm into her body, or like what's going to happen? That she tricked it to like being encapsulated into one of our guns.
It's so crazy.
And
But
fighting
kinda
against
genius.
and fighting against the darkness, because the darkness obviously saw something in her that just like, oh, this could be a powerful ally, and tried to take her, or tried to get her to come to the dark side, so to speak.
Well,
she talked about fighting that. So
before we get too far away from the raid, I just wanted to shout out to some clanmates of ours, Richard and company. The brothers have taken it upon themselves this season to carry randoms.
yeah,
So it's my understanding
raiders.
that Nicholas goes into LFG and finds people who've haven't done the raid yet, and they take them in and run them through the raid. I think that's very charitable of them.
It's awesome
to be doing that. Yeah, it's very nice, and they've got their special emblems that you get from carrying people.
I was going to say they don't do it for the emblem.
No.
Well, maybe a little.
Maybe a little. It does help, though.
Yeah, I think you have to carry 8 people or something to get a special emblem, and I think that might be a little bit of a carrot for them, but also too, they do it with us all the time. They put up with.
Oh no, they are
They're
great
just amazing.
Sherpas.
They
We're
are.
forever grateful.
They really are. So shout out to them, and yeah. I'm looking forward to trying out the raid. Have not been in there yet, so we'll see.
Yeah, I'm excited. Maybe next weekend.
Maybe.
Even if it's just dip our toes in, try to get through the first encounter type of thing.
It's a raid, not a swimming pool. Before I move on to the next topic, which I have down on my notes here as the return of Iron Banner, I wanted to ask Stego and Romance Girl if they've tried any trials this weekend.
No.
It's the return of trials.
I haven't touched Crucible at all since Witch Queen dropped.
Ah.
We still haven't really done trials in earnest.
Neither have we.
We picked up Shiora's Wrath.
I haven't. I didn't even do that.
A while ago.
Yeah.
Right, we got a Shire. I got a Shira's anyway because
I have not.
One of our clan mates just said no. We'll take you through. We can at least get you it. They convinced me in a weak moment early on, but
a moment of weakness.
I don't know, Sally Bug. Every now and again, you get these crazy ideas of just doing like Grandmaster Nightfalls. Like, what? What? You really want to do that?
I don't mind trying the challenging PvE stuff, but the PvP stuff, it's just it's like I know that I'm like constantly out of my league, right? I have a bum ankle, and so like I wouldn't like go and try to run a marathon. I just know that like it's not something that I have the skill level or the capability of doing. And Crucible's kind of that same. I feel like that same camp for me. But there are times when I just go in and have fun and just say, "All right, I'm going to die every 10 seconds, and that's okay."
It sounds like you'd climb a tree to kick a boy in his dreams.
I wouldn't say that.
Dreams
I
of
think
Trials of Osiris.
I feel like I feel like other players. I am a dream to the opposite team because like a free kill. But look at that person aiming down sights in a sniper lane. I think I'll do a headshot.
2 wolves and a sheep
It's
trying
very
to.
Darwinian.
Yeah, it is. Iron Banner is returning this Tuesday. And again, a shout out to a clanmate who informed me he is going to grind the heck out of Iron Banner. And we're talking about Richard here again, and he figures he can get it just
Otherwise known as Ghost.
Ghost is going to get it all done in 1
He
week.
doesn't have to worry about it the rest of the
season.
I mean, front loading it isn't the worst idea.
No, I like the idea of front loading, and he's going for the hand cannon.
At the time, that hand cannon's kind of beautiful, isn't it?
Gambit when they fix a few things in Gambit, I just want to dive in and just do it all at once.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
After all the seasonal challenges for Gambit
I do
are
like
released.
that hand cannon, and I have some Iron Banner tokens, so.
Well, it's a 180 RPM Frontier's Cry.
They've the iron the weapons, the Iron Banner weapons have that origin trait now, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
I'm interested in the sword as well. It's as far as I can tell, it is the lightsaber one.
Yeah, the lightsaber.
People were interested in the trailer, so I'm interested to see how it takes to a shader. It also can roll with chain reaction.
Yeah, which is chain reaction on a sword. How fun!
It's gonna be fun.
It's very fun.
So, I would say Iron Banner is probably the most tolerable Crucible for me.
And also, they're bringing back a couple of maps, Eternity and Vostok. So that should be fun.
Yeah.
All right.
That'll be interesting.
And there's a new map coming up too, but they're not talking much about it, according to the latest TWAB.
Don't have enough. It's probably still in the not the development stage, but the trying out stage, right? Making sure there's no bugs or.
Right.
Got their special group of guardians who are going in and trying it out for them.
Well, what we have coming up next is it's time for Paracasual Loadouts. Loadouts. This is where we talk about anything we've been using in terms of weapons or armor or perks or combinations thereof, or maybe rediscovering something that you pulled out of the vault, or something you saw Dado talking about on the YouTubes and you decided to try it. Sallybug, you mentioned a little bit, you alluded to a volatile loadout. Yes.
I've tried several different well, of course, glaive, the glaive as one of my energy void weapons. But I also pulled out Graviton Lance that I hadn't used in ages and had fun with that because that also has the unstoppable pulse rifle. So if you're in activity that has unstoppables, you can kind of kill 2 birds with 1 stone, so to speak. And glaive also has that unstoppable mod.
Right.
I also have done the Le Monarch, and that's super fun. I even pulled out Hardlight, tried that out.
No.
So fun. It's actually really fun. It's really
There goes
fun.
the neighborhood.
Just keep the void on the whole time and do the it's fun. Yeah, so just so all the different, finding out all the different void,
so many weapons
specific.
I still want to get Death from Above, or not Death from Above. What's it called? The Deathbringer rocket launcher. I still want to get that.
Right. I haven't tried that.
I haven't tried that. Yeah.
I've done a lot of Tomorrow's Answer, I believe it's called, the older Trials rocket launcher that Zur was selling one time. I went out and picked it up, and so I have been using that.
So you went out to old Zur and bought something?
That was a few weeks ago. I think it was.
How's he doing, by the way? Did you talk to him at all?
Like pre-Witch Queen. I was actually wondering, like, because there were 2 exotic pieces I didn't get from last year. If I went to Zur now, could I and purchase one of those exotic engrams? Would it have one of those too?
No.
Did it include those?
Not yet.
Pulls from the pool of ones that you have. When you unlock it, like from the Legendary Lost Sector, right?
Yeah, that's what she's talking about. Those. Yeah.
Yeah, when you get it from the Lost Sector, that'll add it to the pool.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Okay.
But that seems logical.
I thought that engram was for ones that you hadn't gotten yet.
Yeah, but they changed it so that you actually have to earn.
You have to earn it. Oh, if it's one that you earn it from a...
grinding endlessly.
I mean, not that I didn't do the Legendary Lost Sectors enough to grind for it, but yeah.
Well, it sounds like you're close to getting there this season. To start giving it a go.
Yeah. I'm close to wanting to try it. So, I did kind of do a cheesy thing. I got this was something that I heard it on a podcast. I think it was Fallout who had mentioned it. It said that, and this was like when they were prepping for Witch Queen. If you have all of your engrams full, like just keep it full of umbrals, and you go through a Legendary Lost Sector and it drops exotic, it'll show up as an exotic engram in your Postmaster. If you don't claim it until the new DLC comes out, you have the possibility of getting one of the newer pieces. And I did. I got the newer helmet.
Ooh.
Wow.
Kind of meh. It's kind of a meh exotic in my mind.
But still, it works.
It's like for the Middle Tree Arc Strider, and it's just like, it's very specific horde mode, but people shooting at you type of scenario where it would be a beneficial piece. But I got it in my collections. It worked. So
yeah.
You mean to say that you didn't put it on to whirlwind block and reflect Savathun's own Nova Bomb back at her?
No, because I wouldn't have gone in against Savathun with anything but my void subclass, so I could go invisible.
Truth comes out. Scaredy cat.
I'm gonna live in the void. I live in the void. I lived in the void before Void 3.0 came out, and now I'm living in it even more. So
and enjoying that void lock as well.
I put in stasis every now and again, but I'm enjoying stasis on my warlock. That's fun and new, but right, I've talked too much.
Well, as far as my big thing is, I finally, started maxing out on the weapon crafting materials, those little energy things, whatever they're called, mutable. I forget what they all are. There's like 6 of them.
Mutable, ruinous. Oh, did you notice they changed the symbols underneath them when you go to dismantle them or like get the energy out of them?
Yeah, I thought I kind of subconsciously noticed something was different there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I was maxed out on those, so I went in and I took my Enigma, which I had leveled up finally to level 20, and
Wow.
I made what I'm calling the Equagan Enigma because he made this very same roll. He crafted this same roll, reshaped it in a video of his, and it is a total melee. It highlights the melee aspect of using the glaive, and it has lightweight emitter, swap mag, so it's all about handling, and grave robber, and paired with unrelenting. And grave robber and unrelenting are the enhanced versions, although I understand that not a whole lot of difference between the regular and the enhanced. FYI. So, and I've only had a chance to use it a few times in patrol, and I was using it, you know how the public event where you ride the little vehicle and then you have to go kill the enemies in the bubble? I went into that bubble and just started going ham with it, and I noticed every now and again my health would pop back up because of the unrelenting. It was kind of nice just to like clear the inside of that bubble with my glaive. With my Equagan glaive, no doubt. Stego, what have you been running to get through the campaign and whatnot? Just whatever's the highest light?
Basically,
Yeah.
I have been experimenting with the red frame weapons, trying those out to get the essence, and just to try out the new weapons. I kind of like the stasis heavy machine gun.
Oh, I haven't tried that one yet.
It's nice. I like the land tank origin trait that's on the seasonal weapons for the season, giving you increased resilience and damage resistance after landing a few final blows. So that's been fun.
Neat.
Yeah. But other than that, like when I go into the actual missions, I try to just infuse up my Galahorn still.
Yeah, Galley's still pretty solid.
Same.
It's still...
Yeah.
We've been watching some like damage test videos, and still just the combination of ease of use. That's like sometimes, depending on the sandbox, something else will like just barely edge it out. Or there's a nice mod that'll work with a different weapon type, but basically Galahorn is
King.
Yeah. Easy mode king.
Easy mode
which I
king.
like.
I just did a stasis is machine gun in my dim, and I do have that machine gun, the recurrent impact it's called.
That's the one.
I've got one for all, firmly planted. I wish that was a subsistence. That would be better. But yeah, I'll give it a try. Pull it out.
I like this stasis auto rifle. Crate. How you pronounce it?
Crate is a lot of fun.
It is. It's a monster, actually.
Gun. Yeah.
Oh, little pro tip: the public event where you have to shoot the nice little blue balls that are coming in at you, the little bubbles, right?
Yes.
Crate does a great job on that. It just goes forever.
That's kind of my go-to crate for that one. Yep.
I think we can
crate
say there's some
great.
There's some crate fans among us. Okay, all right, moving right along. Sheesh. Romance Girl, anything to report in your loadouts, or are they pretty much just the highest?
I mean,
highest light?
I do. I do still tend to do whatever the last thing that dropped, basically, and just keep trying out new weapons. But having trouble taking off Osteostriga.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
I love that gun.
The sidearm is a lot of fun.
It is.
And also
so
the
fun.
seasonal machine gun that's kind of like a fusion rifle missile launcher.
The Grand Overture.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, we got that right
I've
from
actually had a
the
lot
season
of fun
pass.
with that.
Grand Overture.
I took it into PsyOps and was just shredding.
Nice.
Shreddie spaghetti.
Shreddie spaghetti. Well, sounds like everybody's
Well,
having
now you know
fun
what to,
despite the
you know what
grind.
to name the podcast.
Shreddie
Shreddie
spaghetti.
I would dare say that I'm having fun because of the grind.
Wow.
I know.
That's a novel
right?
idea, isn't it? I do
It's
from
kind of
time
fun.
from time.
Have is something to do, right? You get
Yeah.
on and it's just
There's
like
so
not,
much.
but not feeling like it's a chore. They just like they put the magic touch on it this time around. It's like sometimes it's just like, oh, I've got to get on and I've got to do this, or as opposed to I want to get on and to go do this, right? It's just like the grind that's in there is just fun. It's a fun grind.
Yes.
I'm
not at the point where I
pace.
need a specific thing, and so it's so much fun not having to be beholden to wanting something very specific that you're at the mercy of RNG for. It makes the grind much more enjoyable.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Yeah.
There he is. We were waiting for
He
you.
is.
I was just done carrying three
we
people
were not
through
waiting
full
at all.
glass.
Say
Ball of glass.
Yeah, I was carrying three people that had no idea what they were freaking doing. This one dude
Nice.
literally had no idea what we had to explain the whole thing, and I've been explaining like the Vow Disciple raid to like for carries like the whole weekend.
We actually mentioned you
Yeah.
guys earlier how you're doing that. So yeah.
I had 6 clears on it now. I carried another one today, so I'm on five carries now.
Wow.
Oh wow.
You need to put us in that boat.
Yeah, I'm got pretty good at explaining the raid now.
Nice. I'll
You
bet.
have to
Awesome.
take that Quizlet on all the symbols.
Yeah. I'm seriously going to do that before I try the raid. I'm going to memorize those symbols and call outs. But so we've had a good podcast so far. We've just been rambling. Sally Bug's been rambling on and on about her volatile loadout and
void weapons.
Mine's got funnel web.
funnel web. Is that your loadout these days?
Funnel web, or it's that new exotic grenade launcher. Because it's void as well, and it's just goes along the floor like 3 different directions, and it's just crazy.
Can I?
Yeah.
That
Can
one
I,
you can also change its element, right?
yes.
That's the one that we just got last night.
It's like a hard light grenade launcher. You can change the void solar arc.
That's
What's
cool.
What's it called?
Dead messenger.
Dead messenger.
Yeah, that one.
That's right.
Richard, I have a question for you. You got the catalyst for Dead Messenger? No? Doing the
Yep.
master. Big difference? Does it really help out?
I'm trying to think what it gives you this certain perk. I'm trying to think what it is. I think it's turnabout. It gives you turnabout.
I don't know what turnabout is.
It's one of the new perks. I haven't really read it myself. I just used the gun.
Turnabout
Kind of a good
perk.
gun.
Destiny 2.
But it's fun, especially in Wellspring. Really fun in there.
Yeah.
I mean, now
I
that
could
they
see
fixed the
that.
drops, it's been great.
Oh, so yeah, I haven't been into Wellspring since they fixed the drops. But that's
Me
great. Did you
neither.
were you able to get that schematic you were looking for?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's how I got the exotic glaive for the Warlock.
Gotcha. Okay. Turnabout is using this weapon to break the shield of a combatant or a guardian using their super will grant you an overshield for an improved duration. So it gives you an overshield. Okay. So
For
Yeah,
breaking a
that
shield.
explains the
Nice.
shield.
you break a shield, you get a shield. That's
And
kind of
it's
cool.
kind of like guaranteed because you could just change the element.
Right.
Right. Yeah, it is. It's kind of guaranteed.
Yeah. And we also did a shout out to you because we were talking about the return of Iron Banner, new hand cannon, and the new sword. Stego's looking forward to the lightsaber sword that's coming out.
Yeah, if only they actually did a lightsaber in the game, that'd be exotic.
Well, this might be
Easy.
the closest you can get to it. This vortex
Yeah.
frame. It's going to come with chain reaction, possibly. It could roll with chain reaction, which is interesting for a sword.
Everyone loves chain reaction.
I do. I love it. Something very satisfying about chain explosions. I don't know what it is. Bungie tapped into a very
I wonder what its element is.
It's void. It's a void vortex.
Of course it is.
It's a void vortex frame.
All right, so now I want one and try out the volatile with it.
Yeah.
Volatile's fun. I definitely use that in the raid. It helps the ads.
There's so many more ads in the new content now. When you load into like an old strike, it feels almost bare.
Unless you load into one that's Battlegrounds.
Do, yes. I
like those,
really
actually.
I think they're good for complete bounties, but they're long.
Strike
I
where
They are
you go
long.
visit, where you fight Ala Cool.
Oh, that's my favorite one.
I really like that strike.
That's fun.
That's really fun.
Yeah.
I told Neil about this yesterday, but if you do Alec Hall on hero difficulty, you can actually get 100k on the hero difficulty.
Yeah, I was trying to tell Sally that. She wouldn't believe me. She's like, there's no way we could get 100,000. Let's not do it. Let's do something
There's no
else.
kill everything. You can get it. I've had it guaranteed 3 times.
Is it the Nightfall strike this week?
Yeah.
Oh, did not know that.
All right. Do you want to do this sound check? Is everybody ready for that? I put some links. Unfortunately, you guys can't hear the sound bites, but the links are in the notes. Richard's probably just going to be wondering what the hell's going on, but let's roll on over to this. Hold on a sec. I'm queuing up the sound check.
Testing 1, 2, 3. Destiny sound check.
All right, it's time for another sound check, and you know what? Apologies, Stego. I made you do another mod academy when it was actually my turn to do a sound check. I looked back at our calendar, and I realized we got out of rotation somehow.
Worry not. It was getting a little dicey there at the end of the season, and I was excited to talk about the mods. So
Yeah, thank you for doing that. Thank you so much, and it was my bad. I looked back and I was like, oh, sorry about that. Anyway, so today, this episode of, this special segment of Destiny Soundcheck is paying tribute to the great David Shaugnessy, the voice of First Ghost Imarru. Now, who doesn't love Imarru? I think...
I want to break his shell.
Yes, everybody, I think, wants to, but you can't because
I don't want to because I want Savathun as an ally.
Yeah,
so.
We can't because Savathun's definitely going to be an ally of ours, so we don't want to harm Imarru. And I think if you listen carefully to all his famous lines, Imaru's fan, we're going to listen to a few of them tonight, in more than one language, actually. But we're going to listen to David Shaugnessy as Imarru tell us about the four-armed zombies tracking fluorescent flea bags. We're going to listen to the famous "Let the Guardians Kill the Scorn" patrol monologue, and we're also going to who can forget the famous "Suck it up, you little maggots" line from the great First Ghost Imarru tonight. But a little background. David Shaugnessy, really interesting character. I think he lives in America now, but he's English-born actor, producer, and director. His voice work in video games spans like a list way too long to read here, but some of the notable ones are the Fallout 4, Labyrinth, Mass Effect, Star Wars Rebels, The Darkness, Elder Scrolls, Warcraft. He did a couple voices in Skyrim, I believe. But he also is known for producing and directing soap operas of all things. The Young and the Restless, which is a popular American soap opera. and The Days of Our Lives. I think that's what he's doing now for A&E is what came up. But he started off in the theater and did a lot of drama and theater work before getting into producing and directing. And then how he got the gigs for all these voiceovers. I mean, it's not just video games. He does animation and films and things. I'm not exactly sure. I didn't run across that. But a little trivia is his father was Alfred Shaugnessy, who is a scriptwriter, best known for Upstairs, Downstairs, which is one of the early, I think it even predates EastEnders. It's one of the early British soap operas. To be honest, I'm not surprised anymore when I find out some of these voice actors or actors have who have, like Southern accents or New York accents turn out to be British. For some reason, British actors are able to imitate Americans, but it's very rare that it goes the other way. There's a few exceptions, but I'm no longer surprised at that. Anyway, let's get down to listening to a couple samples of First Ghost Imarru. Here's his famous four-armed zombies quote.
All right, my little antisocial arthropods. This is First Ghost Imarru talking. The four-armed zombies are tracking the Guardians back to wherever they came from. Those fluorescent flea bags better act fast.
Fluorescent flea bags. Love it. It's very good writing there, and of course, masterful delivery. Here is the famous "Let the Guardians Kill the Scorn."
Attention all loosened hive. Imarru here with your marching orders. Scorn are digging in hard. Fall back and let the Guardians pound on them a while.
They crack me up for some reason. Fall back and let the Guardians pound on them for a while. It's genius. And this is perhaps saved my favorite for last. Let's give it a listen.
I'll defend it. Attention all loosened hive. Imarru here with your marching orders. You little maggots, suck it up and be ready for a Guardian counterattack.
You little maggots, suck it up. Oh, that's just beautiful. And the next sound clip I have is from David Shaugnessy reading, I think it's from his own YouTube channel. And he's reading it's an audition speech is what it's entitled. But I think he's just reading kind of like for like audiobook or something. So here's a sample of him, and I watched a couple interview segments with him as well. So this is his normal speaking voice.
Something had shifted in the trunk, so we pull into the parking lot of the Bellagio to have a look. I pop the trunk. I remember quite vividly how the lights from the fountains played across her pale skin. She was stripped down to her underwear. Her face was pretty discoloured and swollen, and her mouth, hands and feet had been taped with bright blue electrical tape. I couldn't remember her name, but I knew who she was. It was one of Shizuko's girlfriends, the heavy drinker, the one who'd gone home with Barry the night before we left for Vegas. Only one of her eyes was closed. The other one was frozen open in this horrific blinking stare. I tried to tell Barry, but he simply wouldn't have it.
All right, there you go. Yeah, strange story indeed there. But yeah, I was watching him and listening to him. I just realized he reminds me a lot of, well, he looks like and sounds a little bit like Elvis Costello, if you've ever seen Elvis Costello in an interview. And to close out this edition of Destiny Soundcheck, I have two interesting things I ran across while I was surfing for some Imarru quotes. This is some competition to David Shaugnessy. We have the Italian Imarru, I believe. Is that what this is? Yeah, this is the Italian one. Let's give it a listen.
Bene, miei piccoli artropodi asociali. Parla Imarru, il primo spettro. Quelle pulci fluorescenti pensano di poter imbastire una bella linea di rifornimenti. Distruggetela.
So that's il primero spectro, the first ghost. And we also have the French Imarru. Wish I knew had time and resources to track down these voice actors, but we are paying tribute to them by enjoying their interpretations of the first ghost. Here's the French Imarru.
À toute la ruche lumineuse. Ici Imarru avec vos ordres de marche. Une messagère hautement prioritaire traverse notre territoire. Protégez-la des flingueurs à lampe.
Nice. And that wraps up this edition of the Destiny Soundcheck. Thank you for joining us. Has anybody gotten a chance to listen to any of those sound bites yet? Yes? No? Maybe.
No, not yet.
If you listen to one, well, Romance Girl, I highly advise you to listen to the Italian and the French. The French one's great. You'll appreciate
I'll definitely go back.
Yeah, but at least listen to, because you know Imarru. You guys have heard those other quotes already by playing the game. But listen to the Good Clean Fun link. It's kind of hard to connect the two voices, the Imarru, his Imarru character with his regular speaking voice. Kind of cool. So, yeah, and I think that brings us up to our final segment of the evening, which is the non-Destiny media consumption.
Non-Destiny media consumption.
What have y'all been consuming outside the game of Destiny? Stego.
We just, on Friday night, we were very excited for the Disney Plus streaming release of Turning Red, Pixar's latest film, and it was phenomenal. Masterpiece.
I'm waiting for Moon Knight.
Recommend Turning
Moon
Red?
Knight seems nice. Highly recommend Turning Red.
I'll give it a shot.
It's just...
It's Pixar?
It was a masterpiece. Yeah, Pixar. Latest Pixar film.
Nice.
Everyone should watch it.
Duly noted.
Indeed.
Is it popcorn or no popcorn?
Oh, popcorn for sure.
Okay, that's good to know. Ghost, what have you been consuming outside the Destiny universe, if anything? I know you guys have been doing much.
I did go to cinema the other day to watch Uncharted.
That's right, you mentioned that to me. And everybody enjoyed it, more or less?
Yeah, I went with Logan and Nicholas. We went.
But just going regardless of a movie, just going out again to a movie is kind of a new thing after 2 years of lockdown, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like I said, I wanted to watch Batman, but Nicholas's girlfriend didn't want to sit down for 3 hours watching it, so we watched Uncharted.
3 hours?
Yeah.
Uncharted. How was it?
It was good, surprisingly, because I wasn't really fond of Tom Holland at first, so I watched it. I was like, you know what, he's actually a really good actor. I was like, I'm going to have to watch that Spider-Man film now.
Well, he was good at Spider-Man, wasn't he?
Yeah, it also had Mark Wahlberg in as well, Uncharted.
Hmm.
And that was one of the reasons I'd watch it anyway, because I think he's a great actor.
Marky Mark? Yeah, he's great.
Yeah, Marky Mark.
But there's not much like TV
Forgot
shows
that
or
that's who
films to
he
watch.
was, but that actually was who. That was his first.
Yeah, that's how we all knew him for quite some time
That's
before.
how we knew him originally. Yeah.
Yeah. But like,
Fun.
obviously, been waiting for like TV shows to come out because I've been watching the TV series Superman and Lois, and it's really good on CW.
Mhm.
It's probably better than all the CW shows, hands down. And I'm getting impatient because I don't like waiting. Okay.
You are one
Right.
impatient young man. That is definitely the truth.
It's because it's getting good.
Yeah.
So when it gets good,
Yeah.
and then I've been waiting
You
for
just
One
want
Piece.
more.
Like the new episode of One
Absolutely.
Piece was supposed to come out today, but because Toei Animation got hacked, it got delayed. So I was like, fuck.
Yeah.
Getting heated.
Well, I haven't been honestly doing that much other than random, like, just it's almost like laying down in a boat and going down the rapids of the algorithm of YouTube and just going from one video to another that they're recommending. And because let's face it, those algorithms know me better than I know myself. And so somehow I end up in some pretty strange places with those. But no regrets. No regrets. I'm aware of what it's doing and keeping my open-minded perspective on things and trying not to resist going into a sort of information bubble. That being said, I discovered Vikings: Valhalla. Terrible name, and it looks like they're trying to cash in on the popularity of sort of the Viking craze that's been going on for a while. I decided to watch it anyway, and I got sucked in, and it's a pretty good cast. There's a lot of sex and violence, but it is, and after a few episodes, I have a colleague who's actually an English history expert who confirmed that it was pretty fairly accurate historically. So that even fueled my enthusiasm to continue watching it, and I actually got through the first season, which is all they have so far. Last night, I finished the last episode of the first season, and so I recommend it if you're interested in the history of Danelaw and the famous Viking massacre and just Viking culture and early sort of, early 1000s England, sort of Ethelred followed by Edmund, that era and King Canute and all that. They did a pretty good job. The sets are awesome too. It's worth it for the sets alone. Sallybug? Media consumption outside of Destiny? Nothing, right? You've just been doing nothing but Destiny.
Yeah, not a whole lot. Just
YouTube algorithms?
Well, that's not true. You and I watched Giver.
Well, we mentioned that last time too, though.
Right, and so
I'm talking about in the interim. Oh, so you're reading the book now? I'm
reading the book.
Right.
It's sort of for work, but I'm enjoying the book as well.
Yeah.
And
do you think Richard would like it? Think Ghost would read that book?
I don't know. I don't know if. It's
utopian.
It's
not utopian. Dystopian. Sorry.
Dystopian. Yeah, it's kind of dystopian. Like some people find it disturbing. I haven't gotten to the point. Like it's like because like Hunger Games. I think it was written for the young adult. It's not like and I so far think that it's much lighter than like say Hunger Games. Yeah. So I'm reading that and kind of doing something similar to you. Is just I get on YouTube and just follow the algorithms think I want to
That's what they want you to do.
watch. And it's been a lot of like just American Idol auditions for some reason.
Boy, do they know you.
Because I don't have the patience to sit down and watch like a full episode of like American Idol. I don't have it in me, but I can watch like a 3-minute audition. And I can always click past it if I don't like it. So
I'm feeling like
Do you all pay for YouTube Premium?
No.
I do not.
That would screw up the algorithms.
Because
I want to be advertised.
YouTube Premium a couple years ago, and it was money well spent.
Is it life changing? It's got to be life changing.
Yeah, it really is. YouTube surfing is so much more relaxing.
Yeah. Although I've come to like some of the really short commercials that only last a few
That's
seconds.
Stockholm syndrome.
Yes, it is.
We find ourselves like constantly quoting it, like the meme, like "Don't worry about it, sweetheart."
Yeah, we're getting hip. Don't worry about it, sweetheart.
Don't worry about it, sweetheart.
Oh yeah, it keeps you young, I guess. No, the algorithms are like they're not that great because it's honestly like having the ability to look into your own soul, which no human should ever be allowed to do. So it's it's a little scary at times. So yeah, that YouTube Premium might be a good solution for that. Anyway, before we wrap this up completely, any closing thoughts? Anybody, anywhere, anyhow, anytime. Hoping we can raid soon. Maybe.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, so.
I think between now, that's my goal, is like between now and our next episode that we at least try the raid, even if we don't finish it. So.
Our next episode might be a little funky, a little different date. Maybe it might be a weekday.
Or just postponed.
I
almost spit out my drink, and I don't even have one.
Yeah, you got work related.
Yeah, I'm traveling for work weekend after next. Is that right? Yeah, which would be I'll be out of town 2 weeks from
it might just be delayed a week. I would say that's probably the way to go.
Yeah,
it's just
maybe just
delay it a week.
Push it up a week, but it interferes with other podcast activities is the only problem there, but we'll figure it out.
Right, yeah.
Shreddie Spaghetti is a wrap. Ghost, are you still there?
Yep.
Thank you so much for hopping in and weighing in and saying hi. And Romance Girl and Stego, thank you so much for coming out. I know you've got a lot going on with those kitties and all that are still outside your door.
Ooh, speaking of kitties, my sister's cat just had some kittens.
Oh my goodness.
Boy.
You got to get that cat spayed.
I mean, she said she was pregnant before, but then she was probably just fat at the time. But now she's given birth to, I think, 2 kittens so far, and they're black and white ones.
Oh, those are going to be yours and Pelham's.
Nah, I got Ace.
Oh, you still have
That's
Ace.
True.
That's right.
My mum said if she has another kitten, it comes out grey. She wants it.
It's like a menagerie over there.
Yeah, she also wants to get another puppy at some point.
Yeah. Oh, you guys have had some hard luck with the puppies.
What's the status of the kittens in Texas?
While we were potting, one of the kittens hopped up in the window above the AC unit outside and looked in at me.
She saw you potting.
Yep.
Nice.
Was basically tapping at the glass, saying like, "Hey, what's going on? Why aren't you doing the thing? Come on, open up.
Do the thing." So
yeah, they're cute. It's kitten season apparently. There's kittens all over.
My goodness. Well, it is spring. 'Tis the season. All right, that brings us to the end of episode 50. Can you believe we've done 50 of these? It's tiring.
We
Just
we should have done something special for our 50th.
Well, we did. We had.
It's a milestone.
It is a milestone. Yeah. Maybe we'll get a special, a custom emblem for it, or a shader. Yeah, 50th episode shader. Yeah, enter the code in. Anyway, yeah, this is the Paracasual Destiny podcast. We broadcast live on YouTube roughly every 2 weeks. You can follow us on Twitter. Look for us over there. Of course, follow us on the YouTube channel as well. Check in live with us or listen to us on the podcast outlet of your choice. I'm Sultime, and goodbye from myself, Sallybug, Romance, Ghost, and Stego. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
So, yeah.
Bye.